Hello, dear students. Welcome to the online education of class 6 science. My dear students, in the previous class, I was discussing with you all about the formation of pinhole camera. So, how to make the pinhole camera ourselves? Okay, by taking the two rectangular boxes and making a hole in the bigger box and a square shaped structure in the smaller box, and by inserting into it with a tracing paper, and later on we can adjust it in such a way that we can see the distant objects through the pinhole camera. Okay, so forward and backward we can adjust it so that we can get a clear picture on a tracing paper which is pasted at the other end of the smaller box. Okay, so by using this pinhole camera we can see the distant objects. We can also see the vehicles on the road, people moving in the road. Okay, so these pictures will give us the correct picture. Okay, so hence, so let us move on for the next concept that we have stopped in the previous class. Okay, so now let us now image the sun. Okay, now let us try to see the sun, image of the sun, with the help of our pinhole camera that we have made. Okay, so what we need to do, we need a slightly different setup for this. Okay, little different setup we have to do for seeing the camera, for looking the image of the sun. Okay, to view the image of the sun. Okay, so we just need a large sheet of cardboard. So different setup we have to do to view the sun through this pinhole camera. So what we need to do is we just need a large sheet of cardboard. So not the smaller one. So large sheet of cardboard is needed with a small pinhole in the middle. So very small pinhole we have to do in the middle of that large cardboard sheet of cardboard. So hold the sheet up in the sun. So that sheet you have to hold up in the sun. Okay, and let its shadow fall on a clear image. So let the shadow of the that sun fall on a clear area. Okay, any clear open area. So now do you see a small circular image of the sun in the middle of the shadow of the cardboard sheet? Okay, so you have to hold that cardboard sheet up in the sun so that let its shadow fall on a clear area. So the shadow of that cardboard sheet will fall on an area. Now you can see a small circular image of the sun. Okay, in the middle of that shadow of the cardboard sheet. Okay, so now look at these pinhole images of the sun. Okay, you can see the pinhole images of the sun. Okay, so when an eclipse is visible from your location, so when the eclipse process is going on, at that time you can see the images of the sun when the eclipse is going on. So you can adjust your pinhole and screen to get a clear image before the eclipse is to occur. Okay, so before the eclipse is supposed to occur, you can adjust your pinhole camera as well as the screen to get the clear image. Okay, before the eclipse can occur. So look at the images as the okay, so you can look at the images as the eclipse begins. So as the eclipse starts, you can look at the images formed in the screen by using a pinhole camera. Okay, so images you can observe there. Okay, before the eclipse begins, you can adjust the screen and pinhole camera. So both of them can be adjusted to get the eclipse image. So you will also notice a part of the sun's image gradually becoming darker as the eclipse starts. So when the eclipse starts, you will notice that the part of the sun's image gradually goes on decreasing, becoming darker and darker as the eclipse begins. Okay, so when you are viewing through the pinhole camera, so never ever look directly at the sun. Okay, that could be extremely dangerous, harmful for your eyes. So now there is one more pinhole camera that we have in our nature. Okay, so there is an interesting pinhole camera which is present in nature itself. So sometimes what happens when we pass under a tree covered with a large number of leaves. So whenever you pass through a road, so beside the roads there will be n number of trees grown up. Okay, so whenever you pass under any tree which is covered with a large number of leaves, we notice that small circular holes of circular images. We notice what? Small patches of the sunlight under it. Small patches of sunlight, they have fallen in between the gaps of that shadow of the tree. Okay, so these circular rings, images, are in fact the pinhole images of the sun. So whatever the circular images what you see, no, they are in fact the circular images of the sun. Okay, so pinholes are images of the sun. These circular images are pinhole images of the sun. Okay, so the gaps between the circular gaps between the leaves, they act as a pinholes. Whatever the gaps are there, no, in between the leaves of the tree, so they act as a pinhole camera. So these gaps are all kinds of irregular shapes. These are all gaps having different shapes, no particular shapes we have. So these gaps between the leaves are having irregular shapes, but we can see circular images of the sun. But the circular image of the sun we can see, but not the gaps between the leaves, irregular shapes we can see. So try to locate these images of the sun when an eclipse occur next time. Whenever the eclipse occur next time, you have to try to locate their images on the screen. Okay, so that could be so much of fun for us to enjoy. Okay, so Bujo has a sun thought here. We saw upside down images of the people on the road. So many times we see that upside down image of the people walking on the road, or with the help of pinhole camera. Okay, so what about the images of the sun? So did we notice them to be upside down or anything like that? So that is the question that they have. So there is another thought that surely all the results that we are seeing, formation of shadows and pinhole images, are possibly only if light moves in a straight line path. Okay, so this is what the concept explained in the today's class. So dear students, look at the figure 11.6. Here you can see that it's a natural example for natural pinhole camera, where pinhole images are formed of the sun under a tree. Okay, so dear students, I hope you understood this concept. Let me continue the remaining part of the lesson in the next period. Thank you and have a nice day.